You're listening to Easy Travels, a podcast from Nexion Travel Group, the travel professionals host agency. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Easy Travels podcast and the very special Halloween episode of the Easy Travels podcast, guaranteed to thrill you, chill you, fulfill you, all that good stuff. My name's Chris, and I'm joined, as always, by my friend and colleague, Coach Martin Mussey. How you doing, Martin?
Ooh, I'm doing good, Chris. So, wow, that was an anticipatory opening. I can't wait.
Terrifying, I know. Martin, before we get into the Halloween-themed questions for the day, I want to ask you, because I've never asked you this before, and it's a very important question. What is your favorite horror movie and or Halloween movie? Because they're not necessarily the same thing. What are your favorites?
Oh, wow. So first off, this is going to be a little bit of a theme through some of this that we're going to talk about today. I don't actually love horror movies, believe it or not. I'm trying to think of one that just for the pure fun of it, that I may have watched with somebody. And honestly, one can't come to mind just because it's not something that I naturally turn to. I'm more suspense or anything like that. I will say that the American Horror Story felt like this is more in the genre that I would do. There was that series, and for a while it was a take on Nurse Cratchit or from The Shining. Yeah, so that's if anything, that's probably what I would go to. I'm not slasher gore or anything like that. So yeah, I'm more of the hocus pocus kind of genre of Halloween movies.
Yeah, no, I hear you. My two favorite Halloween movies, neither of them are horror movies, actually. One is The Nightmare Before Christmas, and the other one is The Rocky Horror Picture Show. So yeah,
there you go.
Horror movies. Yeah,
there you go.
I do have some favorite horror movies, but that's a different category. But anyway, let's get in. This is Halloween we're talking about here. We don't want to scare anyone away right at the beginning.
No, not at all.
So let's start out with a simple question. We're going to call this one trick or treat, okay? So what's one trick or a challenge or lesson that you've learned in your career in this industry, Martin? And also one treat, which is a big win or a surprise success that you've had.
Since you asked it in this order, I'm going to give you the trick first, right? And I think the trick or the challenge that I've sort of learned in my career overall, but certainly it stands true in travel, is that you can't ever rest on your laurels, be it in the career, be it if you're an advisor running a business. You just can't rest on your laurels and think that you've arrived. The challenge is truly being vigilant and being fresh and relevant with what's going on at the time. Something that worked 2-3 years ago may or may not work going forward. So I think that's the biggest trick or challenge that I can think of. In terms of a treat, one way to think about a treat is either a surprise or something you're excited about, a big win. And, my thoughts on a big win in business and in travel is the win doesn't have to be huge, right? Just because I went up to the door and I didn't get the huge Mama Jamma, candy bar. Hey, the little one, is good. And I'm probably going to get 25 of those compared to the big one, but just to draw an analogy. So it doesn't have to be a big win. It doesn't have to be grandiose when you're measuring your business, but it just is something that keeps you moving forward. So a big win for me is truly seeing that some systems and some automations that I put in place for our coaching program here at Nexion, they're still working. I mean, certainly we've evolved. So an example I'll give is each time that I'm sitting here at my desk and I see a new to Nexion call just automatically pop into my calendar, that tells me that's a win, because that tells me things that I put in place, several years ago, they're still working. And that's a win. It may not be huge and it doesn't have to be, but that's a win for me.
A good perspective. I'm sure you saw this question coming, but what do you think is a really common fear, like a paralyzing fear that new travel advisors will face? And what advice would you give for them to overcome it?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think in this category, I think imposter syndrome is the big fear. And we've had a podcast over that, Chris, but it still resonates with me today. And I continue to think about it. I've written an article about it. I hopefully will be talking about that in the future at a conference. It's imposter syndrome. And it's, imposter syndrome is that feeling that no matter what I do, they're going to find me out. And again, we've talked about this before. So, how do you overcome it? Just as a quick reminder to anyone who didn't listen to that episode, first you have to acknowledge that the feelings are normal. And then the really important thing is separating feelings from facts. So it's very helpful that if you're tracking and measuring things in your business, I often go to financial in a business. That's a big, bad, scary thing, speaking of Halloween. And so when it comes to tracking, if I actually know the real data in my business, then that can help me just look at that as a data point and not get caught up in the emotion or the facts of it. And then I just have to address this real quick. For some people, imposter syndrome or the reasons behind it are actually psychologically deep-seated. And so if somebody needs to consider going to see a counselor or therapist about it, they should, because it really will be the roadblock that will keep them from moving forward. So that's my thought there. It's a pretty common fear.
Yeah, great advice. Martin, so I have a confession to make. I actually like pumpkin spice. I know I don't care how basic and girlish that makes me, but I actually love the taste of pumpkin spice. I will drink it all day. But what would you say is the pumpkin spice of the travel world right now? What's the trend that everyone seems to be craving the most?
So you love it when pumpkin spice is showing up earlier and earlier in September.
I do.
Hear you. Okay. So, one way to think about this question is that I think you put it as a trend, maybe. And in terms of a trend, I think one of the big trends and things being talked about is AI and really how to best harness it and how to best put it to use. But since this is Halloween, and this is specifically about pumpkin spice, because that's seasonal, right? It's only here for a period of time and then it goes away. So I'm going to have to use an analogy here in the travel business. And so I think the pumpkin spice of the travel business is our upcoming wave season. You've heard of this, right, Chris?
Yes.
You've been around long enough now to know, right?
I've been around.
So to me, yeah. So to me, wave season is like the pumpkin spice of the travel business. We know it's coming. It seems to get here sooner than we plan for or we think. And once it's here, we know it's here, like it or not. And maybe you planned for it, maybe you didn't. And the other thing is pumpkin spice shows up. It starts to show up in different things. I know you love it, but I'm always amazed constantly. You're like, they figured out how to put pumpkin spice in that. Yeah. And so wave season used to be just for cruising, right? But it's not anymore. It's still called wave season, but we've got the, tour companies and the land packages getting into wave season as well. So it's not just about the water anymore. Oh, it's starting to show up everywhere. So that's my version of pumpkin spice in the travel business. How is that?
That's good. And just to be clear, like I enjoy pumpkin spice as a beverage. When I see like pumpkin spice popcorn or cereal or lipstick or whatever it may be, I could kind of go either way on that. But as a pumpkin beverage, I love it.
I'm feeling better about you, Chris. I was beginning to worry. I'm all on board.
Clarity.
Yeah, it is. I'm all on board for the drink version as well. Yes, yeah, start throwing it in my Cocoa Puffs, and you got a problem. I'm gonna have to fight you.
Yeah, leave Count Chocula alone. He doesn't need any help.
Right.
I want to skip ahead to, this is a fun question, haunted travel tales. Do you have like a fun, spooky, or just kind of an unexpected story from a trip or a client experience or a next event or something? What's your spookiest, scariest travel industry story that you have? You've been in this industry a while. I'm sure you've got something to talk about.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you one that's just fun because then it follows the Halloween theme here, and it's a perfect setup because I've already said I don't like horror movies and slasher things, and what carries through with that is I also don't love haunted houses. Sorry for anyone out there who loves them and all of that. So my story goes with this. It was actually one connection several years ago. We were just at Universal Orlando Resort. So I think it was actually back in 2021 when we were there for connection. And as you saw, Halloween Horror Nights is going on, right now, and it starts earlier and earlier. And so I had a colleague say to me, "Hey, would you want to go to Halloween Horror Nights? I'm not going to do it by myself, but I would do it with somebody else." Well, I've heard amazing things about Universal's haunted houses, and because they're a movie company, that they're amazing and fantastic. So I decided to take the plunge and go ahead and do it. Bought a ticket, as expensive as that was, and we went in one night and we did it. And I'm here to tell you, while there's some definitely fun, it's more fun doing that with somebody else. But as somebody who doesn't love haunted houses, what helped me, and this is good or bad, but it's just part of the story, is that because it was not too long, 2021, it's not that long after the pandemic. So there was still some safety measures in place and 6-foot distancing. But in a haunted house, what that meant was behind every jump scare, to keep the distance, they would have a piece of thin plastic where the jump scare or the person was who would probably normally invade your space. But for someone like me, the lights in the place, I began to train my eye on where every piece of plastic started to reflect, and I knew the jump scare was coming. So it was a perfect setting for someone like me to get to enjoy the ambiance and the amazing sets and lighting and everything that go along with it, but not be so out of my mind that I couldn't enjoy it. Now, I've decided for myself that I would go back. I didn't this time, but I would go back and I want to experience it again because they do some amazing things with those houses and the sets. So I'm on board. So everyone who's out there listening, if you've never been to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, go do it. I highly recommend it, and it's more fun with a group of people for sure.
That does sound fun. Well, Martin, is there any other advice, any other spooky, scary, Halloween-related advice you'd like to give our members today, or should we wrap it up right there?
Let me give you one more. That is, and I'll make it short. And I may have to do two because I don't want to end on this. But one of the things in Halloween is all those webs and the scary webs that you can get caught in. I really want to take this opportunity to tell people out there that one of the webs that exists out there for our travel industry, it's as good time as any to talk about fraud. It's spooky, it's scary, and the fraudsters are just getting sneakier. You know what? And it used to be newer advisors that were the most vulnerable, but it's experienced advisors are not off the hook in it. So be it wire transfers or fraudulent credit cards. So no one likes being caught in a web. So just be on the lookout, everybody. That's one thing that I wanted to share with everyone that is on theme. And the last thing I'll share with you more on a positive note is everybody, if you looked into the crystal ball of the future of this travel business, the future is bright. I really do think it is. And, cautionary tale along with the all the geopolitical impacts out there, but it just forces us to think different. And those who adapt will always be around. We are a resilient bunch. And, while you're out there getting your tricks or be it your treats, just keep in mind that it's a fun season and the future is bright as we look forward.
Excellent. Ending on a positive note for this scary podcast today. Well, thank you, Mark.
That's right.
I appreciate it as always. To all of our members and all of our listeners, please have a safe and fun October and Halloween season. Don't take any candy from strangers. Make sure you drink a hot pumpkin spice, not in food, but in its proper beverage format. And
That's right.
Martin, do you have anything else you'd like to say to close us out?
No, just easy travels out there. Don't make it spooky. Easy travels, everyone.
Easy travels, everyone. Until next time, take care.
If you have enjoyed today's episode, please like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Drop us your thoughts or even show topic ideas in the comments of this episode or email us at communications@nexion.com.